Hello everyone and welcome back to another workout. Today we have a 25-minute full body workout that's going to be having your whole body on fire, but with a heavier target on glutes and legs. I ended up loving this workout. So come to your mat, just lay down flat, take a few breaths in and out, go ahead and stretch, do whatever you need to do to kind of just like warm yourself up and get yourself into this present moment. Today it's quick and easy. A lot of my workouts aren't too long, but we don't take a lot of rest, so you'll feel the burn really fast. So you don't have to do a lot to always get like the most out of it. So I want you to give it 100% in all of the movements today because you aren't here for long. Bend one knee into the chest if you want to just stretch that out, bend both in, switch them up, whatever you need to do. We're going to start here very, very soon. So take your last few breaths in before we move into some glute bridges. So just begin to lift the hips up and down. Good, lifting up and down. You shouldn't feel anything crazy too yet. Your glutes are a very large muscle, so it takes a lot of repetition to start to really, really feel them. But the more you squeeze your glutes, the more you're gonna feel them light up even more. It seems super obvious, but we tend to forget about it, especially as we get tired. So throughout this whole workout, I want you guys to come back to remembering to like really squeeze and hold on to the muscle that you're working. Now moving to pulsing the legs in and out. So you're just gonna open the knees slightly and bend them back in. So you're just opening and closing without moving the feet. Everything is moving just from your knees. Good. Now into some pulses. So just pulsing the hips down and up about 1 or 2 inches. Good. So it's not the full range of motion, just a little bit smaller. This is going to help to really, really target those glutes and start to activate them as we move into these single leg hip thrusts. So pick one leg up straight and just begin to lower and lift back up and down like you were doing at the beginning of this, except this time you're on only one leg. Keep going. Really press your arms into the mat. The more you press into the mat and the more you press into the base of that foot, it's going to help support you even more. Begin to lower the leg up and down. So you're going to keep your hips lifted while you just straighten the leg and lower it down and back up. So you're kind of just bringing it parallel to the other leg and then lifting it up high to the ceiling. Good. Keep going. We aren't here for too much longer, and then you're going to switch legs. Now just bring the leg in and out. So you'll notice that a lot of the patterns are similar throughout all the different motions we're doing. So it can kind of help you just to remember what you're doing and where we're at. Last few here. And good. Go ahead and rest it down, but not for too long. We're going to move straight into that other side. So pick the other leg up and lift your hips up and down. Good. Make sure you're breathing throughout this whole motion. Everyone tends to forget to breathe when they're working out, but trust me, the more you breathe, the easier this will be. Keep going. Really lengthen behind the back of the knee and begin to lower the leg down and up. Point the foot. Keep going. Again, you know exactly the pattern that we have here, so we're only going to do a few more of these until we begin to move that leg in and out. And hold at the bottom and begin to shift the leg out and pull it back in. Shift out and in. I want you to really think about activating those inner thighs as you pull it in while keeping the hips lifted up even higher. Can you lift your hips up higher? Do not drop them. Lift them higher for these last few. And good. Lift it up and relax back down. Now don't get too comfortable because we're moving into another set of this. So come back to even out the legs. You're just going to start with those glute bridges again. So you're on both feet again. So you should have both feet planted on the ground and just lifting those hips up and down. You'll notice that this probably feels a lot different than it did at the beginning because we've now done a lot more work. It might feel a little shakier, but that is good. It means you're doing the right thing. Begin to open those knees, open and closed. Good. Make sure your heels specifically are parallel to the wall in front of you. If your toes want to open up out a little bit, that's perfectly fine, but make sure your knees and feet aren't caving in. Keep pulsing. Last few here, and then we're going to move once again into those single legs. So pick that other leg up and begin to lift it up and down. Good. You guys have been here before, which can sometimes make it harder, but I like to think it makes it a little bit easier because at least you know, I only have this much movement to do. So can you push yourself even farther? I want you to lift those hips up higher. This is where the hips tend to drop down. I want you to really, really press them up even higher, like you're being pulled to the ceiling by a string. Good. You're lowering the leg down and lifting it back up. The only thing that's moving should be that leg. The rest of your body should be perfectly still. And in and out. Keep the leg long. We want length behind the back of the knee, and as if you're getting pulled from your toes. Think you're getting pulled from your toes. You're getting pulled from the hips to lift everything up and out. And good. Now we're just finishing off on the other side, so go ahead and pick that other leg up. This is your last little section of this sequence, so you've got it. up and down, doing that full range of motion before we begin to lower and lift the leg. And begin to lower and lift. Good. You guys are so close. Pick those hips up, keep them up, keep pressing. I want you to squeeze the glutes even harder. The more you squeeze your glutes, that's gonna take out any tension in your back. So if your low back is starting to feel a little iffy, that means you're probably not squeezing your glutes hard enough. You're not pushing into that. Or that you're also not placing your hands super firmly on the ground and using that to help keep you up. Last bit here. Amazing. And just like that, you guys already made it through your first sequence. We're already over 5 minutes. So just like that, you only have 20 minutes left. Bring everything in. Just take a nice breath before we roll up to a seated position. We're moving straight into some more glute work. So like I said, we are really targeting these glutes. It is a full body workout, and you'll notice that throughout like the rest of the workout. But this definitely does focus a lot on your glutes, and I feel like it's what everyone always wants to practice. So now we're just doing some clamshells. You can do these on your elbows if you choose to, if it's a little bit more comfortable. I prefer to do them up like this. So I'm just on one hand and one forearm versus being laying down on the ground. So good. Now we're doing some pulses. So you're just have you the heels together, and you're just lifting that top leg off of the bottom one, again with those small pulses about 1 to 2 inches. This is going to be fired up a lot in your glutes because you already did so much work on your glutes, so it's going to be easy to get these activated. Good. Now lie down with your feet on top of each other, almost in a shallow L position. You don't want to be in a straight line, and begin to lift the leg up and down. Now you can do this and not feel anything. You can completely bypass all of the muscles that you're working, or you can be really intentional as you lift the leg up and control and resist to bring it down. You can make any movement as hard as you want to and make it even harder by just thinking about like resisting and control and moving slower. The slower you move, almost always, the harder it is. So again, now just moving into some little circles. So you can circle forward, keeping that leg lifted. Can you lift it a little bit higher? Good. Really press into that front arm. That's going to help support you and stabilize you. The only thing that should be moving is that leg right now. So we don't want a ton of movement in our upper bodies, even really in our hips. We want all the movement just to be coming from that leg. Good. We've reversed the circle if you haven't already. And kick it forward and backwards. So now we're just changing the plane in which we're moving. So kick the leg forward with a flex foot for 2 counts and kick it back with a pointed toe for 2 counts. So kick, 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 and kick, 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 kick. Good. Bring everything in, and now you're going to come up onto your hands and to your knee. So pick everything up out long, reach the arm towards the ceiling and the leg out towards the other ceiling. Again, coming back into a similar motion that you've been in before, but just lifting that leg up and down. We're just changing the position your body's in, and you'll notice that it will start to feel different in your body. So just kind of think to yourself, like, what does that feel like? It can feel different for everyone, but our main target here is those glutes, and that's where you should be feeling it the most. Now we're doing circles up here on this hand. You will probably also start to feel your upper body activate just because you're holding yourself up, and that requires a lot of strength, especially in the arm that you're stabilizing yourself on. Good. So now we've reversed the circles, and we're going to pull everything in and reach it out long. So it's almost like you're doing a little side crunch. So it's going to start to activate the obliques a little bit, and you want to really keep your like side body up and lifted. A lot of times people tend to like collapse into the side of them. Make sure the both sides of you are like lengthening and long, and that will help to really activate everything in the body. Good. Pull everything in and stretch it out long. And last little bit here, you're just pulsing the upper arm and the upper leg just up, up, up. Good. Almost done here, and lower everything down. You might need to punch it out a little bit, stretch it out, and then we're flipping straight over and moving directly into some push-ups. Now don't worry if you can't do full push-ups, that's totally fine. Lucky for you, there is a way to modify them. So you can see me in the video here, I'm just on my knees, going down and up. It's better to always have proper form than to try and like do the harder version of it or the amplified version of it with bad form. That's just gonna end up hurting you, getting you injured. We don't want any of that. We wanna just be targeting the muscles and getting you stronger. So definitely start down on your knees, and then you can move to your arms once you get stronger, or your toes. Good. Now take a rest back in a little child's pose. And again, we're moving straight into another glute sequence. I thought it would be best for us to just get all the glute stuff knocked out at the beginning. That way it's over and done. You guys have probably seen this before. You're just doing donkey kicks, kicking the leg up and bringing it back down. Now pulse, so just lift the leg towards the ceiling. Again, that like 1 to 2 inch movement. Keep going. Now hold and straighten the leg and just bend it back in. These are kind of like a little modified hamstring curl. So you're gonna start to also wake up the backs of your legs versus just that glute. Last few. And hold out straight and just begin to lift it up and down straight. This glute is probably like on such fire because you've done so much work. We purposely are working the same muscle you just did in those other positions. So we're trying to target one glute and then we'll move over to the second one. Good, now move into some rainbow. So just pick the leg up and kick it over to the other side of your body and then back over. So it should be like a nice big arch, like you're making a rainbow with your toe. Good. Last few. And begin pulsing to finish this. So just pick the leg up and down. Again, those 1 to 2 inches. Make sure those shoulders are staying rolled back, and then we're gonna repeat all of this one more time. I know you guys are probably like, you're kidding me, but nope, you've been here before. We're gonna do this all again. So just back into those normal donkey kicks. I'm gonna let you guys fly and do it on your own. Amazing, you finished that side, so go ahead and stretch it back before we move into the other side. You are not done yet. We still have a whole nother glute that we have to work. So begin to immediately move into those donkey kicks on the other side. So just picking your leg up and putting it back down. Good, again, every time you pick up, I want you to really think about squeezing those glutes and moving from just that glute while still lifting your waist up. People tend when they're in this position to let their stomach just kind of drop out and completely forget about their core. But you can actually start to really engage your core as well by lifting your stomach up and pulling it up and pulling your waist up towards your spine. Good, we've started pulsing. You guys know this whole movement. You've done it twice on the other side. We're gonna do it twice on this side. So I'm gonna again let you guys fly on your own. You're doing a great job. Almost done, and you finished. Go ahead and stretch it back, hit a nice child's pose, take a nice big breath, but then we are moving straight into push-ups. So we're gonna hit those push-ups that we did again. Once again, come onto those knees. You can bring the heels closer to your glutes to make it a little bit harder, or you can push them away to make it a little bit easier. And no, I did not forget about all the little clamshells and all the other exercises we did on the other side, because now we of course have to go even it out and do it on the other side. So we're gonna flip over on the other side of the mat and begin moving straight into those clamshells once again. You have your last little bit on this side, so just come onto the knee and the hand and begin to pick the leg up and down. Little circles. You guys are so close to getting out of your glutes. Pull everything in and stretch everything out. Pull it in and out. In and out. You're almost there. Don't give up. Please, please don't give up. You're literally so close to being done with this whole thing. I promise that the other sequences aren't as long, so this is definitely more on the lower body today, but you'll be feeling really, really good and probably sore tomorrow. Good. Relax everything down. Again, go ahead and punch it out if you need to. And then you're going to flip over onto your back. Again, you can pull everything into the chest, kind of give yourself a little hug, and we're moving straight into some ab work. So lift your head and shoulders up and extend your legs out long in front of you while you reach your arms behind you and then circle everything back in. So extend everything out and pull everything back in. Good. Keep your ribs pressing into the mat. We want no bending in that like lower back. So if you see your back starting to lift off the mat, I want you to raise your legs up a little bit higher. Good. Now extend your legs up to the ceiling, bring the hands behind the head and just lower the legs down and lift them back up. Same principle applies here. Only lower your legs as low as you can go to keep your back pressing into the mat, and begin to scissor kick your legs. So just switching the legs back and forth and keeping the head and shoulders lifted this whole entire time. Can you lift the shoulders up even higher while keeping the shoulders rolled back? Good. Stretch it out a little bit. Good. Bend one knee in and lengthen the other one out long. Keep going. You're almost done with this little ab sequence, and then we're switching into some bicycles. So your legs are following a very similar pattern of movement. You're just pulling those elbows behind your head and twisting your body. This is going to start to activate the obliques. Now you're gonna repeat everything one more time. So take a nice little breath, lower your head down to give it a break, and then pick everything back up again and extend everything out long for those double leg stretches. Good. Pull everything in and lengthen out. Keep going. You just have to do this sequence one more time, and that is your main core work. So do not give up on me. Core is short today. I want you to get as much out of this as you possibly can. And just like that, you are done. So roll everything up, and we're doing something that is kind of targeting the abs. So I might have lied a little bit, but it's kind of activating the whole body. So come onto your elbows, pick your legs up, and just begin to lower the legs down one at a time. So you're just tapping your heel towards the ground while pulling your stomach and ribs down towards your spine and keeping the shoulders rolled back. You want to really press into those arms to support you and lift yourself up. Now we're moving into just one leg. So extend the leg down straight and pull it back up. Again, on the other side, this is super short, so nothing crazy, nothing like the glute sequence we did. If you can get through that, I promise you can get through the rest of this exercise. Now we're just gonna repeat this one more time, that's all. So switching the legs with those bent knees and just tapping your heel on the floor. We only have a few here before we move into the single leg. So extending the leg out straight and bending it back up, isolating one leg at a time. Pull your stomach in, last few, and switch the side. Amazing. Drop everything down and then sit up and give a nice stretch forward. So just take a nice long stretch behind the legs. They've done a lot of work. Take a nice breath, flex the feet, do whatever you need to do. And then I want you to come into a reverse plank. So you're going to press everything up. This is going to work your entire body. Reverse planks are so underrated, but this is very short. So just pick your legs up and switch. It's much easier to look at the video versus me explaining it. Now hold down and begin to move into some little like tricep dips. It's a very small range of motion, so nothing too challenging, but just dip yourself down and pick yourself back up. Good. Now again, repeating this one more time, lifting the leg up towards your face and lengthening it out long. We're just switching the legs back and forth, so we're not isolating like one side of the body. Good. Last few. Hold down and begin to do those tricep dips one more time. You guys are almost done. You have less than a minute left. Can you believe that? Yes, I know. It went by so quickly. Last few here. and release everything down. Good. We're finishing with a little boat hold. So you're going to kick your legs up first while you reach your arms out long in front of you. So your goal, these are kind of like modified leg lifts on the floor. So you're just trying to keep your legs glued together and pick them up from your lower core. This is really going to work those lower abs. Good. Now hold. We're moving into that boat pose I talked about. I want you to either lengthen your arms out long in front of you. If that feels pretty easy, then extend them above your head. We're almost done. You're just holding for a little bit longer, and then you get to relax everything down and go about your day. And relax everything down. Good. Go ahead and let your legs out long in front of you. Reach your arms above your head. Lay them by your side. Just take in all the work you did. You should be so proud of yourself. Spend as much time as you need here, and I'll see you guys next week in another video.